When you're working with comparative advantage type problems on your microeconomics final exam, this is how you calculate the opportunity cost for a given good for a given party. And before we get started here, I'm a tutor. I'm spending the next 2 weeks going over the most important things you know for your exam. And if at any point you need me to teach you this entire class in one night, go check out the Microeconomics Cram Kit in my bio. This is basically like having me as your tutor the night before your exam, walking you through all the 95 core concepts in this class and over 150 must-know practice problems. With that said, let's zone in on one party and one good and calculate the opportunity cost. We're gonna make this easy. We're gonna go top left here and calculate Steve's opportunity cost to produce one apple. My biggest tip, the biggest takeaway from this video is that the other good goes over. So just to be clear here, Steve's opportunity cost for one apple, I'm actually gonna write this in red, it's gonna equal 12 blueberries divided by 15 apples, which when we solve out, is going to equal 0.8 blueberries. In other words, for Steve to produce one apple, he's got to sacrifice 0.8 blueberries. That's what he's got to give up to produce one of this good. I'm going to write 0.8 here, and we're going to solve for the rest of the opportunity costs here and then determine who has the comparative advantage for apples versus blueberries. All right, so I just solved out Morgan's here. To produce one apple, Morgan has to sacrifice 1.2 blueberries. So who's got the comparative advantage in producing apples? Steve does. Steve's got to sacrifice less to produce one apple. And in turn, Steve should be the one that produces apples. We're going to do the same exact thing for blueberries. What you're going to find here is that Morgan's going to have the comparative advantage. It's impossible for one party to have it for both goods. So what we got to do here is I'm going to flip some things around. We're calculating the opportunity cost for one blueberry. So remember, the other good apples goes over. So for Steve here, I'm going to take 15 apples and divide that by 12 blueberries, which equals here 1.25 apples. Meaning that Steve, to produce one blueberry, has to give up 1.25 apples. All right, let's solve this for Morgan. And remember, hers is going to be less. 20 apples, 24 blueberries. Okay, that's 0.83. Morgan has to sacrifice 0.83 apples to produce one blueberry. And because this number is less than Steve, she's got the comparative advantage in producing blueberries. All right, if that helps you out there and you like the way I explain microeconomics and are absolutely screwed for your final exam, my Microeconomics Cram Kit can genuinely save your grade in one night. We're gonna take you from feeling screwed to actually understanding these concepts. And then I'm gonna guide you through applying them onto practice problems. So if you're ready to save your grade with me, go click the link in my bio to get started now.